If Arne Slot wants to steady the ship, get the most out of this new diamond formation, and most importantly, have the control he wants over games, there is a certain player who needs to become a regular part of this team. Look, guys, we struggle for a bunch of reasons this season. Some of it came from tactics, and some of it came from the drop in performances from a few players. But one problem stayed the same every single time. We just did not have someone who could stay calm on the ball, set the rhythm of the game, and break opposition lines from deeper areas. Because of that, teams found it easier to press us higher up the pitch, and it left us with way less control than we should have had. This is where Curtis Jones steps in. The 24-year-old has been consistent almost every time he was on the pitch, and he brought something we have been missing for years in the middle of the park. That is exactly what we are here today to talk about. From what makes Jones so calm under pressure to the new trait he's starting to unlock, and the best role Arne Slot should give him to get the best out of him and lift our whole team performance. So make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons and let us jump straight into it. Now, if you have been following us for a while here on Panenka, you already know how highly we rate Curtis Jones. Yes, the criticism about him taking too many touches or holding the ball for a bit too long can be fair at times. But even with that, he brings something that the rest of our midfielders simply do not offer in the centre of the pitch. First, let us start with his movement to receive the ball. Jones is showing a different mentality this season. He clearly wants to be the guy who pulls the strings. He wants to be the player who makes the team tick and keeps everything running smoothly. You can see this from the way he moves around in the deeper phases of play, always trying to give his teammates an option and open up passing lanes. It shows confidence, but also a real understanding of what the team needs in build-up. For example, look at this moment where he drops all the way into the left back spot and even the left centre back area to receive the ball. After he plays it back to Alisson, pay attention to the small steps he takes and then the sudden movement he makes to receive again. This type of movement helps him get away from his markers, slip out of the shadow of pressing players and find or even create space for himself and for the next player in the sequence. You can see again how he always tries to move into a new space at the right time, giving the ball carrier a clear passing lane and a simple solution instead of leaving him stuck. In both moments, Jones escapes pressure in his own special way. In the first one, he uses a clever dummy that lets the ball roll straight to Robertson before he bursts into open space. In the second one, he gets around his marker with quick feet and really smooth ball control that shows just how confident he is in tight areas. Now, we already know that the biggest selling point with Curtis is his ball retention and his press resistance. He is one of those players who can receive the ball in really tight spaces and still find a clean way out without giving it away. His dribbling obviously helps in those moments, and his underrated athleticism, along with the way he uses his arms to shield opponents, is another big part of why he stays so calm under pressure. But there is one small detail that many people miss, and it is a detail that makes him even more valuable when the game gets crowded. Scanning is a simple idea, but it is one of the most important habits a footballer can have. The thing is, not every scan is useful and not every player knows when to do it. The timing is what decides if you only see the problem or if you actually spot the solution. For Jones, his scan timing is almost always perfect, and that is why he looks so comfortable in situations where others might panic. Let us show you how this works. Look at these sequences from our recent 1-0 win against Inter. Can you spot the exact moment when Jones takes a quick glance to check his options before he finds Isak with a through pass? It happens right before the ball reaches his feet. That tiny look gives him all the information he needs to play the perfect ball forward. Let us look at another example from the same match. You can see him check his shoulder again the moment the ball leaves Van Dijk's foot and is still travelling toward him. Some players scan while the ball is still at their teammates' feet, and others scan only after they receive it. Both options leave you one step behind because in a football match, new information appears every single second. To give yourself the best conditions and to understand the latest picture on the pitch, the smartest time to scan is while the ball is moving toward you. That is exactly what Jones does most of the time, and it is what allows him to spot Gravenberch here and play him in with confidence. Whether it is to find a pass or escape a tricky situation, the timing of Jones' scans is crucial. It is one of the big reasons he stays so calm under pressure. He is always able to capture the most recent picture of what is around him and react before anyone catches him off guard. It looks simple when he does it, but it takes a lot of awareness and confidence to make it a natural habit. Now, knowing how to protect the ball is nothing new for Curtis. We have all watched him do that for years, but there is a new part of his game that he is starting to unlock, and it is something he needs to keep consistent if he wants to fulfill his potential and hold on to his place in the starting 11. We are talking about line-breaking passes. As we mentioned earlier, Curtis wants to be the main guy this season. With a player like Trent leaving last summer, we struggled to move the ball forward from deeper areas through passing. Jones has decided to step up in these recent matches and become the player who takes responsibility by trying to play through opposition lines and help us get up the pitch with real purpose. Have a look at these two sequences and notice how eager Jones is to move the ball forward and break the lines. In the first moment, he takes his time and waits for the right picture to open. He makes sure McAllister has enough space to receive before playing the pass. It is patient but also very calculated. In the second moment, even though the pass is difficult and even though he has much safer options around him, Jones still chooses to play Gravenberch with a risky pass that ends up being very rewarding. This shows a new level of bravery in his game. He is not only keeping the ball anymore, he is now trying to hurt teams by playing through them instead of just around them. This intention to break opposition lines did not only show up in the intermatch, Jones' passing was actually the reason behind our third goal in the Leeds game. Watch how he gives the ball to Van Dijk on purpose so he can pull pressure toward him before receiving it again. You can also spot the scanning point we talked about earlier. He scans once right after he releases the pass and then scans again while the ball is travelling back toward him. This gives him the full picture before he even touches the ball. Then, without any hesitation, he sends Gravenberch into space with a perfect pass. The result, as you can see, is the goal. Moments like this show how much he is growing and how important he can be for us in the build-up. Now, some people might think this is it. We finally found the holding midfielder who can control most games for us and consistently break opposition lines. We understand why some might think that, but we also have a few reservations. For Jones to become a number 6 of that mould, he would need to add 3 things to his game. The first is more disguise and deception in his passing. The second is the ability to hit long-range passes with real confidence. The third is to become outstanding at defending the space in front of the centre-backs. He can already disguise his passes and all he really needs there is more consistency. But when it comes to long-range passing and the full defensive discipline that a number 6 needs, we think that might be a bit too much to expect from a player who is only 24. So the real question becomes clear. What is the best role for Jones to play? Here you can see the new diamond shape that Arne Slot has been trying recently. When we have the ball, it can shift into something like this, with the fullbacks becoming the players who hold the width. In this setup, Jones should not be the number 6. Instead, he should work as a number 8, almost like a box-to-box midfielder, but with more involvement in the build-up. When he plays this role, you can ask him to drop into space to receive and face the play, rather than always having his back to goal. This brings out the best of the off-ball movement we talked about earlier. It also gives him the chance to receive in higher areas of the pitch and take part in the small rotations that happen when both Wirtz and Hugo drift around to create pockets. Having Jones receive the ball higher up is also a perfect way to take advantage of his dribbling. It puts him in positions where he can beat a man, combine quickly, and even create chances for others. This role lets him use the full range of what he is good at instead of limiting him to only one type of task. So in the end, what we are seeing with Curtis Jones is a player who is growing right in front of our eyes. He is not perfect and he still has things to work on, but the steps he is taking this season are real. He is showing confidence, maturity, and a clear understanding of what this team needs from him. Whether it is receiving under pressure, escaping tight areas, breaking lines, or helping the team keep control, he is starting to become a very important piece for Arne Slot. What matters now is consistency. Jones has all the tools to be a regular starter if he keeps building on what he has shown in these last few games. He has the technique, the awareness and the calmness that many midfielders never really master. The key for him is to stay brave and keep demanding the ball even when the game gets tough. That is how great midfielders are made. And for us as fans, it is exciting to see a player who came through the academy take on a bigger role in a new system. It gives the team something fresh while still keeping the identity of what Liverpool football should look like. If Jones keeps working, keeps improving, and keeps trusting his qualities, there is no reason why he cannot become one of the main figures of this midfield for years to come. So that is it for today. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more deep dives like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps us keep creating these breakdowns and bringing you more content every single week. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.